warrior with the hands. That's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Payback in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now been walking with them angels, so I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft, better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. Behind me say I cup full. No room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to suffer. Flow so deep, they drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Bro, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing, gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the 10 leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything, I guess me and Johanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring me bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time, this Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. She call me 47, praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame, ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign, loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king, the devils can't have me, bitch. I'm loyal to the king. That's right. Bring that hot flame, UPK, loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign, loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king, the devils can't have me, bitch. I'm loyal to the king. Bring that hot flame, UPK, loyal to the king.
It's totally not easy.
Purchase your tracks today.
Know the people been waiting for a minute for something authentic. Came in the truth in Boston, it made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. You became on court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage to words for soft flicks? What is good riddance? Don't affiliate with feminine symptoms. I know you feel me, nigga. This a death threat to hip hop. You don't stop that weak shit. I'ma mix your lean with some grimlock. When the last time you heard it this raw? What I wish for's when the earth inherited by the piss ball. We been to war, them the ones I'm taking risks for. Ain't got no pics or no cars to hold. Holy angels watch my steps, them Glock guard my soul. Can't let them leave my body cold. I know you feel me, nigga. Let the wicked weep and the meek prevail.
tracks today.
It's rolling, Luna. What is it?
This for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. This for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. For the white man, 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 for the white man. Painted by the Spanish, did a whole lot of damage. Shit was outlandish, banks got branded. Split up all the families, then shipped across the Atlantic. So many died from the famine. Threw the dead bodies overboard, sharks ate them like salmon. I know you can't stand it. I spit the truth, goddammit. Big business got managed, dig it double back. Came to pick up all the blacks. We'll speed up our back, we never got to relax. Pretend to set us free, but then you double back without a crack. The type of game that you play, hey, you keep it real, I ain't going for it. Beat a couple court cases, had a warrant for it. Told my mama if I ever did time, I'ma raise up the whole yard. Had my lawyer like, oh Lord, district attorney added more charges. No problem, ain't tripping, thumbing through the scriptures. Miami said the Lord with your boy, that's a small issue. Bounce back out the rebound. UPK got the heat now. They done let me off the leash now. Teaching in the streets now. A part of Lost Tribe South, but it started in the East now. Look, this for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. This for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. For the white man, 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 this for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. This for my people. This for my people. Yeah, this for my people. For the white man, 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 for. I just wanna see my enemies fall. Yeah. Hey, look, I just wanna bow. So my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Forget them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And it be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Then start a couple business on it. Fuck you, the heathen never shitted on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my rear view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes. And all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. So my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Forget them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And it be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Yo, get up out of bounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm dead from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Sue Woo from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that Brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in this city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo. Know that truth and give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. So my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Forget them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And it be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Hey. Yeah. To all them children, you growing with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Oh hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real, and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leave her. Yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. So my niggas is locked up. I hope you do too.
All right, Shalom, Israel. Clap it up. We're at Isupk, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any Israelite group or organization, and what we do is teach the truth according to the Bible. We teach the things that you will never hear in the Christian church, things your pastor, your Christian pastors have, things that they probably do know. They probably do know, but I seriously doubt they know the truth according to the Bible, because what they teach inside the Christian church is Christianity. You understand? And Christianity is not in the Bible. You understand? You won't find the doctrine of Christianity in the Bible anywhere. When you start reading this Bible and you come inside the ISUPK and start understanding how the scriptures are really broken down and not interpreted through the eyes or through the understanding of your oppressor, the so-called white man, because that's where Christianity comes from. And that's where so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians learn the Bible. They learn it from our oppressor, you understand? Because we have been, we have been, brought here to this country because of our transgressions against the law, you understand? And one of the things that you will definitely not find in the Christian church is brotherhood. You understand? Because brotherhood is important into building any nation, into building anything. I mean, hell, if you have a family business and you don't understand simple brotherhood, it's going to fail. Because what's going to happen, especially with so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Indians, you understand? Somebody's going to get greedy. Somebody's going to have an evil eye. Someone's going to get angry. And then before you know it, you understand, everybody's splitting up trying to go their own ways. You understand? But because Yahushua, you understand, or Jesus Christ, he came to save the nation of Israel and give us brotherhood. You understand? Right. Real understanding and real love, man. Right. You understand? So without brotherhood, the nation, we see where the nation is currently at. You see the deaths in the black community and Hispanic and Native American community. You understand? You'll get your brains blown out because of road rage, right, because you step on a brother's shoe, right, because you get his shoes dirty by accident. He's going to mug you, and because of our pride and our hate for each other, we're going to mug each other and blow each other's damn brains out, man. That's right. That's not brotherhood. Yeah, right. You understand? But we would never, as a nation, we would never do our oppressor like that. That's right. A so-called white man can run down here on Armour and Prospect right now, shirt off, talking crazy, and nobody will touch him. Nobody will touch him. In any neighborhood where so-called blacks live in the ghetto, the oppressor, the so-called white man, will go and, no one lay a finger on him. Right. And I'm not advocating hate towards, not hate like that, meaning how the oppressor hates us. They want to drag us behind pickup trucks and lynches because of the color of our skin. Right. You understand? Our hate comes from them being wicked. Our hate comes from the Lord. You understand? We hate our oppressors with perfect hatred like the Bible. So I'm not saying because a so-called white man is in your neighborhood, you should go and harm him just because he's a white man. I'm only showing us, our nation of people, that we will go out our way to hurt another brother, someone that looks like you and I. That's right. And we won't touch another nation, man, because we hate ourselves, because black leaders have failed, you understand, of teaching us who we are. Right. Your black leader, if it was up to your black leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King, hell, I mean, if it was possible, Salak Yadoran, if it was possible that we could say we were white, a lot of us would do it legally. God. If you could put on that paper when you go fill out a job application, if the white man said the so-called oppressor, well, he is the oppressor, if the so-called white man allowed us legally to say we were white, a lot of us would do that. That's right. Because we hate ourselves, man. We have no knowledge. We have no brotherhood. But we have to remember, as a nation of people, man, Christ only came to die for the nation of Israel. He only came to save and redeem a people who have been, tore down. We don't know who we are.
Right.
We think that we're just a color. We think that we're black. We think that we're conscious. We think that we are African. We think that we're Chinese and Buddhas. I seen a post today that some sister, Lord be with her, some sister made a post. I don't even give a damn if the post is true, but saying that the first Buddha was a black woman. And then she had, what you remember those lokes they used to wear back in the day? The Buddha had the statue that they had, we get all our education from memes and social media without doing any real thorough research. Right. But in the ISUPK, Commander General Hanna has showed us how to thoroughly research and, understand things. We're just not going to read a meme and take it for face value and say Buddha was a black woman with lokes in her damn hair, man.
That's right.
I mean, that is ridiculous.
Right.
A Buddha, some little green fat Moabite or Ammonite, whatever, Moab, some little green fat Moabite. I mean, why even go look in that history? Why even go try to dig that up? It's because we do not know who we are, man.
That's right.
I mean, and it's a shame when we have the truth. You understand? We have a school in almost every city in the ISUPK. Right. It's a school in almost every city. You understand? And we about to be touching every country where a so-called Black, Latino, Native Indian is. Where any of the lost tribes are, you'll be able to find a school and get this truth, man, and know who you are. And you won't be ashamed of who you are. You understand? Salakia, I know I've been rambling on. We're going to get into some of these precepts, man. But I wanted to, I left off last week. I didn't get to finish. I wanted to bring out a couple of things before, I move on and talk. I wanted to talk about anger, like how being angry, you understand? It's not wrong to be angry, but don't allow your anger to, make you not be a brother. Holding grudges and being just, standoffish and wanting to be alone, all those are demons, man. All those are demons. Because you have an issue with a brother, you don't have to hate that brother in your heart. You don't have to, understand? You don't have to, I'm not saying you have to go out your way all the time but you can't hate that brother. You can't, when you see a brother or sister you have an issue with, and it's something in your mind is making you not want to speak, you understand? If it's something that makes you feel a certain way about that person, more than likely you have a demon, man.
Yeah, right.
You understand? And we must understand in the nation of Israel that Christ didn't teach us that. In fact, he taught us the exact opposite, man. You understand? But before I get into that, you understand, it was some things last week where I was talking about the Lord is not a respecter of persons, and the nation of Israel should not be a respecter of persons neither when it comes to, judging. You understand? When it comes to fellowshipping. I know that's a Christian word, but, brotherhood, showing brotherhood. You understand? Because, like I was saying last week, a lot of us in the nation of Israel, man, we respect people who have money. We respect people who have clout, they call it these days, who are popular. You understand? And we show no, we just don't care about, the poor of Israel.
That's right.
You understand? We don't care about those poor people, man, dying in the streets, that are in prison. You understand? Who are hungry. But we must not forget about those people. The Lord doesn't care if you're rich or you're poor. He's going to judge just. You understand? He's going to judge the nation of Israel just, man.
That's right.
What we should be focusing on is not how rich a person is or how popular a person is. We should be focused on building a nation of people who follow Christ.
That's right.
And how do you know you're following Christ? Because you do whatever he told you to do.
That's
whatever the Bible commands us to do. You should be, judging a person or looking at a person that is just, like Commanding General Yohana, man.
That's right.
That's how you should be looking if this is a good person or not. Not because he's worth $10 billion.
God.
If he keeps the law, if he treats his wife good, you understand, according to the Bible.
That's
if
right.
he's taking care of his children the way the Most High told us to take care of our children, man.
That's right.
That's how you correctly see if a person is good or bad, or good or evil, or is of the Lord. Not because he drives a Bentley.
Right.
Not because he has 2 million subscribers on TikTok.
Right.
You understand? But we've gone away from what's important, and we do everything that our oppressor wants us to do, man.
God.
And that's not the way of the Lord. That's the way of the Christian church.
That's right.
You understand? And Salaki, I'm gonna pull. Let me get my notes. Yeah, Salaki, that's the way of the What is this? That's the way of our oppressor, man. Because our oppressor, you know, he only respects what he can see. Our oppressor is carnal.
God.
You understand? We can't be carnal and claim to be a follower of Christ.
God.
You understand? Where is this at? Hold on, Salak. Give me 1 second. Cheers.
What scripture you looking for?
No, it's actually not a scripture. I had something that I kind of declined. Because I didn't get to bring it out because the class was Tawab last week. We got it in. I didn't get to bring out a lot of this. And I just wanted to make sure, brothers and sisters, I got it right here out of one. Matter of fact, Baba Kashaf, if I may, just to recap and go, Proverbs 14 and 20. You understand? Because brothers and sisters, in our communities, you understand, they go through things every day, man. And you know, unless you're famous, unless you're popular, it gets no recognition besides in the ISUPK. I remember watching when I first came into the school and watching Commanding General Yohana when it was the grill, and he was bringing out all these stories, and I'm like, damn, why isn't this on the news?
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't, you know, these people getting killed? Our nation, you know, our poor brothers and sisters who are getting executed, getting murdered by police. Why isn't it being talked like this? How Commanding General Yohana breaks it down on a mass level, on a broad level.
That's right.
Because no one cares about us, man. No one cares about us, man. And like I was saying, you know, I'm not against Kobe Bryant, but when he died, it shook the earth, man. It shook the earth. But when brothers and sisters in the ghettos, in the hood die, man, it's just like, you know, it's like, okay, here we go again. It's another nigga. What was he doing? He ain't have any business. Even when Mike Brown died, I mean, that shook the earth. But I still heard Christians with this thought process saying things like, Salakia, Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown, I heard Christians saying things like, well, I mean, maybe if he should have took his hood off. I mean, was he taking a shortcut? I mean, what was in the bag? Mike Brown, they killed the innocent black. That is just so disgusting for us to look at a nation of people, our own people, like that, man.
That's right.
What the hell you mean he was walking? But I mean, that's what we learn inside the Christian church, Salakia. You got that out of one?
God. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 20. The poor is hated, even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. I mean, and it doesn't get more cut and dry than this, man. You understand? It says the poor is hated, even of his own neighbor. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, we can go outside right now. Your neighbor is your brother. That's right. It's not just talking about, you know, who stays next door to you. Like physically next door, your neighbor is your brother according to the Bible, man. That's right. And we hate our poor neighbors. We hate our poor brothers and sisters. You understand? But, you know, the beautiful thing about it, man, the Most High in Christ, man, he loves the poor of Israel, man. He loves his nation, man. We just have to obey. We have to obey. You understand? But, you know, the Lord gave us a chance as a nation, man. He didn't cut out the poor. He didn't cut out it's like the rich of Israel, man. The brothers and sisters who have, you know, wealth and who are in the bed with our oppressor. You understand? They they look down on their own nation of people.
Right.
They look down on their own nation, man. When they should be trying to, you know, uplift their nation. They're tearing down their own nation with the oppressor.
That's right.
How the hell do you oppress your own people, man?
Right.
And that is disgusting. And that's why the Lord is going to, I mean, it's not looking good. You understand? If you don't repent and come back, and if you're a black leader, I mean, I mean, the Lord's not pleased with you. I just say that.
Yeah, right.
The Lord's not pleased with the leaders of our nation, man. And it also says, but the rich have many friends. The rich have many friends, man.
That's right.
The rich have friends that, you know, he don't even know. He got friends he don't even know.
God.
You think a rich man like me and Ottawa, we talk about Floyd Mayweather all the time. You think Floyd Mayweather knows all his damn friends?
God.
You got brothers and sisters that don't know him, but it'll be like, yeah, Floyd, they talk about him like as if he's their first cousin or brother and sister, man.
God.
But that poor brother, you understand, that poor brother Tyrone, that's asking everybody for $5 who's hungry. You understand? He might be a you know, a dope fiend. That poor brother right there, everybody looks down on.
God.
Because, you know, they hate his problems,
God, that's right.
but they're willing to accept Floyd Mayweather's problems
That's right.
because he has money. And if you think like that, if you're a black, Latino, or Native Indian man, the Lord is displeased with that. He doesn't approve of that behavior.
Yeah, right.
And Salaki, I wanted to read this article. Okay, let me open it. And this is just an example of what's going on? Of you know, how we can be a respect of a person. And this is I would send it, but it's
Too much.
yeah, kind of the kind. So I'm gonna just go ahead and read it. It says, judge to soon decide fate of a KC man who says he was wrongly convicted. It says Keith Carnes was convicted in 2003 of a death of I believe it's another brother named Larry White. And it says, a judge will soon decide the fate of a Kansas City man who says he was wrongly convicted of murder. Keith Carnes was found guilty in the death of Larry White nearly 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, right here in your own city, a brother said he was wrongly convicted. You understand? I'm pretty sure he has family, you understand? But it's like, you know, with the nation of Israel, no one, this is what I noticed, because it's a lot of black men being released and being wrongly accused of crimes that they didn't do. Because our oppressor, man, they're the devil.
That's right.
They're the devil. You understand? You won't get a just sentence or you won't get a fair trial in America if you're a so-called black, Latino, or Native Indian.
That's right.
You understand? They say, you know, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
But that's a damn lie.
Right.
If you a nigga, you guilty, man.
That's right.
You guilty, man. So, you know, and I just want to say this too. If you're the type of person who values our oppressor's laws over the laws of the Bible, just understand that you're approving of innocent black men and women going to prison. And you do nothing that the Lord tells you. Is showing how much you know, respect and love the Lord. And it shows you how much you disrespect and hate your nation of people, man. Because if we kept the laws of the Most High, we wouldn't be going to prison.
That's right.
At all. They would have to throw us into prison unjust.
That's right.
But since we don't teach God's laws, we go through situations like this where brothers get locked up innocently and have to fight and sit in jail 20 years and rot.
That's
with
right.
no support,
That's right.
no voice, no help. We just rot, man.
That's right.
And then the only time it gets some type of recognition is when what? When it hits the news, and then everybody on Facebook talks about it, but they didn't say anything in the process why he was fighting. Tell me how that makes sense, man. And that's what our nation has come to, man. It's like what do they say? What's that term that I hate even saying it, but that clout chasing, man. It's like we don't really even care about situations. I almost feel like, man, people do almost everything for attention, man. They have our nation suffers from a real bad attention demon, man.
That's right.
And so, like, yeah, I seen a video, man. A brother, he was burying his mother. I mean, and he was singing at her funeral, and he was just getting it in, and everybody was just praising how good he was singing. And I'm like, man, this brother's he's burying his mama.
Right.
Like, it's not a guy. So, like, it's not a damn concert, man. And that's just so disgusting with Christianity, man. It makes us so selfish.
That's right.
And self-centered, man. I mean, it's disgusting, man. Let me get back to this article, Salakia. Being innocent, you know some people would be more upset than I am. Carnes is serving life for a 2003 murder this year. He could walk free. From day one, I've always had that hope. This is my year. This is my year. It's all in God's timing, you know? But yeah, I've been hopeful every day, he said. I mean, what the hell else do you have to be hopeful? I mean, you don't have nothing else to lose at this point. I mean, you have to, I mean, you know, and this is another thing, you know, understand, this is, in no means we shouldn't be incarcerated or locked up for any crime that we didn't commit. We shouldn't be locked up at all for anything. But this is the thing with so-called blacks, Latinos, or Native Indians. You know, this brother says he still has hope. You understand? You know, being outside of the ISUPK, I understand that when I wasn't in the school, when I didn't understand the truth, I still had hope too. You know, ignorantly. I still had hope ignorantly. And, you know, this to me, and I may be wrong, but this proves how that, you know, we are of this nation of people that's in this Bible. You know what I mean?
That's right.
This proves that. When you see a oppressor or another nation wrongfully go to prison for something that they didn't do, brother, they're fighting like hell to get out this situation. And guess what? They have support. You think they have hope you think these heathens have hope in the Most High God? Man, they have hope in them.
Right.
Their brotherhood.
That's right.
Their sisterhood.
That's right.
They don't have hope in the Most High.
Right.
And that's how you know that we are these people in the Bible, man. This brother said he has hope by day. I mean, and how many brothers and sisters are, you know, going to support him?
Right.
How many brothers and sisters are, you know, writing him or trying to help find him a lawyer?
Like they did Meek Mill.
Oh my God, how could I forget? Meek Mill, hold on, he probably, how much money did Meek Mill make? He probably made tons of money going to prison, man.
For only 2 months, every celebrity, every nut. And so, like, if I could, this is what I like to say about this brother here you reading about here in Missouri. If you read back just a little bit of what you just said.
Kind of doing kind, sir.
He said he had hope.
Kind of doing kind, sir. Here you go. Carnes is serving life for a 2003 murder this year. He could walk free.
So this brother's been in prison for 22 years. For 20 years. For about 20 years, this brother's been in prison. Keep going.
From day one, I've always had that hope.
Keep going.
This is my year.
Keep going.
This is my year.
Keep going.
It's all in God's timing.
What did he say?
It's all in God's timing.
This is something, brother, that Christians and some blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians better understand. When you see Commanding General soldiers out there on the corner, and we're crying aloud to the Most High God to rain down judgment and justice for the crimes that have happened against God's chosen people, you better believe like this brother believed.
That's
and
right.
have hope like this brother had hope. An innocent man who served 20 years in the goddamn correctional facility for a crime he never did. And this brother said, what? Read that again, what he said?
Kind out of one kind. It's all in God's timing.
He said it's all in God's timing. And Elisha, how many times have you heard some stinking Christian open their mouth and they say that about getting rich?
Right.
Or they say that about anything else that they love or they lust. It's all in God's timing. I'm going to claim it. What is the famous scripture they misuse is life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Oh.
We got to claim it. Claim what's yours.
And
that brother said, what did he say again? It's all in God's timing. Brother, the oppressor is going into slavery. That's in God's timing.
Damn right.
The day where the lion and the lamb will lay down with each other, that's in God's timing. The time where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't commit crimes anymore, aren't seen as filthy, disgusting, useless, worthless pieces of garbage, are gone and done away with. That's in God's timing. The time where black men will not suffer anymore at an unjust justice system from the oppressor, that's in God's timing. The time for black women to stop aborting and murdering black children, that's in God's timing. The day of our oppressor is soon at an end. And if you're a brother or sister, if you from the tribe of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, so-called black, Hispanic, and North American Indian, something that you better grasp a hold to is hope in the Most High God, that he will deliver justice and judgment to our oppressors for the crimes that they have committed against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
This brother did 20 years. 20 years in the penitentiary for a crime that he never did. The oppressor have committed crimes against God's people and have never spent 1 day in jail, 1 hour in prison, 1 day behind bars. You better hope and pray and do the things that the Most High God have been telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to do since the book of Genesis, and that's to have brotherhood to each other.
That's right.
That's to have compassion for those brothers and sisters who are locked away innocently. That's to take care of the widows and the fatherless children. That's not to give $800 billion to the Christian church. The Christian church should be giving $800 billion back to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
So we don't have to beg our oppressors to eat poison food out of a can. So we don't have to beg our oppressors to give us Section 8 housing. So we don't have to beg our oppressors to give us something to drink, to give us some food, to give us housing, to give us Medicaid, to give us health care. The oppressor is going to pay for what he has done.
Damn right.
And it is all in God's timing. Now, what are you willing to do and give up so that your oppressor could be underneath your feet? What are you willing to do to help this brother's suffering and this brother's pain? What are you willing to do to shout the names of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown? Ain't that what they all say? They say, shout his name, say her name, but no Christian is willing to do the very thing that God told us to do, that Christ taught us to do, and that's to love one another. That's to behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in
That's
unity.
right.
That's to love your brother like you want yourself to be loved. Treat your people the way you want to be treated. Look out for your people the way you would want somebody to look out for you. That's what Christ taught us. That's what God ordered us to do. But no Christian church have ever done it, Eliashah. No
right.
Muslim mosque have ever done it. No Buddhist temple has ever taught blacks and Hispanics how to love one another. But the Bible does. But Commanding General Yohana does. But the Israelite School UPK does. And that is the reason that it is in God's timing that the oppressor is going to pay for the crimes that they have committed against God's chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel.
Damn right. Get an I don't want a hand, man. And what he left off with is all about the 12 tribes of Israel, man.
That's right.
It's not about any other nation but us, because we're the only nation suffering because of our sins, man.
That's right.
These other nations can go do what the hell that they want to do. And if we follow them, celebrating their holidays, celebrating birthdays, and, putting on their culture, you understand, and adopting, and serving all their gods, man, we'll continue to be exactly where we are right now.
That's right.
You understand? And like Adawan, you said something so heavy, and it crossed my mind when you brought up Trayvon Martin and how brothers, they trying to make his name live on, and they try to say it, every
election year.
Every election year, you know what I mean? Which, in the ISUPK, we talk about these people all the time.
That's right.
We talk about these brothers and sisters all the time.
That's right.
You understand? But, I just want to make a point with the Adawan was saying, because it was so heavy, and we put so much we put so much time and waste so much energy trying to, get our oppressors to understand our pain.
That's right.
And voting.
Right.
And marching.
Right.
And talking.
Right. And
praying. It's like, the same oppressor that killed Trayvon Martin. What did he do? He sold the gun, the murder weapon that killed the innocent black man. He made a profit off of it, man.
That's right.
He made a profit off of that. And you want to go and try to join to a nation who is doing things like this?
That's right.
And in defense of what the brother, when you ask brothers and sisters that, all they can say is, well, it's not all of them.
Right.
When the hell are we gonna wake up?
That's right.
It is all of them, man.
That's right.
It is all of them, and until we understand that, and understand that we need to separate from all of them, our children will keep getting killed with Skittles and tea in their hand, man.
That's right.
We'll keep dying by the hands of our oppressor because we are too sleep.
Right.
We are too sleep. So, Lakia, let me get back to this order with the, please.
If I may, what you said is so heavy when you said that black people's main defense is, it's not, every white person ain't bad. That's what that idiot Martin Luther King Jr. said.
Right.
The God of goddamn blacks and Hispanics in that stupid Christian church, Martin Luther King. He's the God of Christian black people. He's the God of goddamn, brother, Joe Biden, the president of the United States of America, today was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, to lay a wreath over his goddamn grave. To lay a wreath and pay honor and respect to Martin Luther King Jr.
Wow.
The oppressor, the president of the leader of the free world, of the greatest country, the most racist country, who have committed violent acts towards Martin Luther King Jr. Who killed Martin Luther King? Black people? The Nation of Islam, Christians? Some white, good Christian who saluted the flag in the United States military killed Martin Luther King Jr. And the president of the United States of America today was down there laying a wreath to pay honor and respect to Martin Luther King Jr.
Good night.
This is what Christians better understand. Something that you just said, that was so heavy. Where you said, Salaki, give it to me again. What you just said.
When I said Salaki out of wine, they not all bad.
Yeah, that's the number one thing that black Christians always say. Well, here's what I want to know, Elijah Shah. If all white people aren't bad, where are the oppressors that's trying to save this brother get out of prison for 20 years? The past 20 years, this black man was locked away, incarcerated for 20 years, and there was no oppressor trying to fight to save him. But I thought they wasn't all bad. What was the oppressors at when Martin Luther King Jr. got murdered? Don't you know that when Martin Luther King Jr. was in the Birmingham jail in Birmingham, Alabama, he wrote some letters called the Birmingham Letters. And brother, he was pleading to white Christian leaders and pastors to ask for the help of so-called prominent white pastors like Billy Graham. Billy Graham was a famous white pastor back in the 60s, 70s, the 80s, all the way up till he died about 5 years ago. He was a famous televangelist, like some rich devil. Do you know that he established and ordered a goddamn league of white pastors to not be in fellowship with the civil rights movement and Dr. King? Dr. King wrote the Birmingham Letters. You should read them on your own time. And he said, "Where are all the white preachers and the pastors?" He said, "Where are our white Christian brothers and our Jewish white Christian brothers that are supposed to help us?" He said, this is what Dr. King said in his letter. He said, it pretty much it disgusted him. And he was so disappointed in white Christians and white Jewish people because instead of them pushing with him to get Voting Rights Act and voting laws and equality laws and all of these good laws that he wanted black people to get, he was upset and disappointed that those white Christians wasn't on the same page as him.
Right.
That they opposed him when they were both Christians. They both were Christians, and black people have to understand something that's in that Christian church. Your oppressor does not like you. Your oppressor does not want you in this country.
Right.
Your oppressor does not care about how many terms you serve in office, how many wars you fight for him, how many clothes you fold for him and wash for him, how many cities you build for him. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians better understand one thing, and this is that one thing, that you better separate and join your people.
That's right.
And stop searching for the love of your oppressor.
That's right.
Because your oppressor hates you.
Damn right.
These brothers have been locked away for years, years. No oppressor trying to help them, trying to save them. Where were they at when Trayvon Martin, when Khalif Browder was in 3 years in Rikers, a 16-year-old boy in a prison full of grown men and adults? This brother, 20 years behind bars, innocent. You know how many stories it is of black men and black women who's innocent? Cynthia Brown. And the list goes on. And there's no oppressors trying to save black people that's incarcerated. These oppressors aren't trying to save sisters that are on WIC and welfare. Jeff Bezos got $200 billion out. Black women don't have to go and get welfare. He could provide housing for them if he cared about black people.
Right.
But your defense is, they're not all bad. There's some good ones. Well, this is what you better do. Instead of wasting time the way your leader, Martin Luther King Jr., wasted time trying to find good white people, you better hold on to the good black people that's in your neighborhood.
That's right.
That you grew up with, so that you can follow the laws of God, so that God can save your people. So then you don't have to keep praying day and night for your son to come home safe at night like so many black women do. So many black women have boys, have black sons and black daughters. And brother, go ask some of them the worry and the pain they have of their child not showing up because they're afraid and scared to death that their black son is going to be murdered.
Right.
Well, instead of you trying to join your oppressor and search for one good white person, like Dr. King did, that's what he said in his letter. I know it's still some good ones, even though these white pastors spit in my face. Billy Graham spit in his face. The other ones, they spit in Dr. King's face, and he's still trying to love white women. You're gonna make the same mistake he did if you don't do what you are telling them, Elisha. What Commander Juliana is doing is teaching black people, instead of trying to find one good oppressor, instead of trying to find one good white person, a good African, a good Arab, why don't you just find the one good black person and join with them?
Damn right.
Why don't you just help the black person that's good in your community and the brothers and sisters that can't help themselves? And why don't you just join each other? And then maybe, Elisha, just maybe you won't have to keep praying for your son to come home safe at night. Just maybe you won't have to continue to pray and worry constantly of your daughter getting raped and molested or going murdered and going missing. Maybe that won't happen if you simply just go and find a good black person, good Hispanics and good Native Indians, and get down with them and do the work of the Lord with them, or else you're going to continue to make the same mistakes that Martin Luther King Jr. made, and that is what's going to continue to destroy us the way it's been destroying us. Search for that black person that's on your block that you hate so much. Search for that Hispanic that you think is going to take your job and join them in the name of God, and go out and do the work of the Lord in the UPK, and then maybe, just maybe, the Lord will see fit to bring justice down on America, down on the UK, down on Jamaica for the crimes that the British have done against the tribe of Benjamin, down on the French for the crimes they've done against our Haitian brothers, the tribe of Levi, down on the UK for the crimes they've done against every goddamn body. Maybe then the Lord will see fit to give us justice.
Damn right.
But it takes brotherhood, and stop looking for one good white person and look for that brother and that sister that you hate and join them.
Most High in Christ. Get out of one hand, man. Because what he's saying is so true. I mean, and if we did exactly what he just said, go and find our own and start building with our own Salakia, you know, and being brothers and sisters towards each other like Christ commanded us to, like the Most High commanded us to, man, we would be off to a real good start, man.
That's right.
You understand? But you said some heavy things, Adawan, and I just want to read this definition, because this is what so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, this is one thing that we suffer from. It's called Stockholm Syndrome, man. Stockholm Syndrome, and I'm going to read the definition. It says, feelings of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taken by a victim toward a captor. And that's the whole nation of Israel.
That's right.
We have been kidnapped, and right now we're being held hostage by our oppressing or our captors, man.
That's right.
So we developed some type of feelings from being over here so long and not even understand that us being over here was a crime.
That's right.
We were kidnapped against our will to go into slavery, man.
That's right.
You understand? Our Gadite brothers and sisters, our Issakarite brothers and sisters were captured. Captured. The hell, you don't even have identity anymore.
That's right.
You're called by all the, the names of your oppressor. Johnson, Parker, you understand? Harvey. Those are all slave names, man.
That's right.
And guess what? When we're so proud to be called those last names.
That's right.
We're so proud to be called after our oppressors, man. That is Stockholm Syndrome. When you can go out and ignore all the crimes of your oppressor and say things, well, it's some good ones left. Well, why ain't they trying to help you fight for your damn identity, man?
Right, that's right.
Why ain't they trying to tell you, look, listen, you are the chosen, you are the children of Israel.
That's right.
The God of the Bible is your God. Why aren't any of them telling you that?
That's right.
Because you know what we select, Yadawan. You know what we think a good oppressor is? You know, he got the weed, Salakia. He got the perks. You got some lust. You love white women. She lets you, you rib her up. I mean, and that's what it is. But it's nothing it's nothing that's going to bring you closer to the Most High. It's nothing that's going to bring you closer to your culture. It's nothing that's going to help you be more brotherly or sisterly to your own kind, man.
That's right.
The good oppressors that we look for, if we don't know by now that it benefits them more than it benefits us, we'll continue to be lost, man. It benefits them for you to reach out and say that they're a good oppressor.
That's right.
You have to work so hard just to prove that it's a good oppressor. And then you like the I want to say, man, you won't even go in your own neighborhood and see what your brother got going on.
That's right.
And I believe, Miami said this before, and I'm guilty of it as well. When you see especially a crowd of Judites, you just, man, shit, it's too many niggas. So it's in you. The self-hate is in us, man.
That's right.
It's in us, and we have to do better. We have to learn, first off, we're like this. We think like this because of our oppressor, man.
That's right.
Because of the Christian church.
That's right.
The Christian church thinks exactly like our oppressor. So Christianity is more detrimental to us than it is helpful. So I just wanted to bring that. Oh, and one more point that I wanted to say. Our oppressors' version of Christianity is not like black people's Christianity, man. It's two different Christianities. In their Christianity, they gonna turn up when it's time to, and they will destroy everything moving.
Right.
That's how Christianity got spread through the earth.
That's right.
Through violence.
Right.
Hell. And we going around talking about God loves everybody. When your oppressor hates you, man.
That's right.
If you're a Christian, just know that any Christian, especially Northern Tribe, I mean, they slaughtered our Gadite brothers and sisters. They slaughtered them, man, and made them Christians. They didn't go lay hands on them out of wine, and they didn't get the Holy Ghost. Yeah, they didn't come in the name of Jesus and was all kind. And no, they was killing people, man.
That's right.
That's our oppressor's version of Christianity.
That's right.
Well, our version of Christianity is to submit to whatever the oppressor does.
Right.
So you can become or stay a good slave. We're already good slaves.
Right.
But Christianity keeps you a good slave, man.
That's right.
And then, that's why the work of the priest in ISUPK is so important, because those chains need to be broken. It's free men in this school, man.
Damn right.
And that's why we go out every Saturday and teach our brothers and sisters that the white man is the devil.
That's right. That's real freedom.
That's real freedom, man. When
That's
you see us
right.
out there, when they see us out there, I don't want getting our boots kissed and licked by the oppressor.
That's right.
Because of the crimes they have done to our forefathers and foremothers.
That's right.
Man, that is glorious, man.
Damn right.
You got these cats So like, I don't even want to talk to these cats, these Christians and these fake Israelite groups talking about, man, that's wrong. How the hell is that wrong when they were feeding babies to alligators?
That's right.
You talking about them kissing the boot is wrong.
That's right.
Brother, I mean, just stay Christian. You already a Christian.
Right.
But in the men in ISUPK, we're not accepting any of that, man.
That's right.
Any of that garbage, any of that filth, man. We are men of war. Just like the Most High is a man of war, man.
Yeah,
Salakia, man. Where did I leave off from there? He said it's all in God's timing. Now, I don't want to broke that down. We don't have to go back over that. It's all in God's timing. You understand? Just like our oppressor, we be put in chains. That's what we're waiting on for. Our oppressor would be put in chains, and it's all in God's timing.
That's right.
You understand? We will have justice. That's
right.
all in God's timing.
That's right.
We will rule the earth. We will have the kingdom of heaven. That's in God's timing, man.
Right.
You understand? It says Karn's case is back before the court. And this is what he said. Hopefully, he'll see it our way, said Kent Gibson, Karn's attorney. This is his lawyer speaking. Gibson said he expects a judge recommendation soon. I mean, damn, 20-something. He's expecting a judge recommendation soon. And then it's good. It's good oppressors, Adawan. No one is hearing this man's case because he's poor. He's just another nigga in the hood, and nobody gives a damn.
That's right.
So he has to get the extra mile. And why would his attorney help? Because hell, this case can help. But it's potentially to shine light on him where he can get more clients and make more money. So he's not helping you because, it's the kindness of his heart. He's helping you because, if I get this nigga off, I'm going to get all the niggas to come spend their money with me, man. And that's what we do. We find a lawyer to get us off the murder charge out of wine. Oh, yeah, what was the lawyer back in the day? Pat Peters, Kansas City. Everybody was using old Pat. Every nigga was going to go pay Pat top dollar, man. He made a ton of money off us, man. Look, we go in the lawyer office like it's your homeboy out of wine. What's up? Oh, man, whoa. You understand?
And that's what black people think a good white man is.
Got her the kind.
Somebody who does his goddamn job. Somebody who does their job, some lawyer a criminal defense attorney is supposed to get you off. That's what he's there for.
Kind of the kind.
That don't make him good. Because an oppressor speaks to you and says, they're supposed to be nice and courteous.
Kind of the kind.
Like of a dog, if you didn't kick a dog, if you abuse your animals, say some black person, they abuse their goddamn dogs every day.
Kind of the kind, sir.
So they was running some dog hustle, they abusing dogs and fighting dogs. One day you don't kick that dog and abuse that dog. Is that dog supposed to tell you thank you? Is the dog gonna tell the owner thank you for not kicking me today? That's a good master because he didn't beat me today.
Right.
That is the relationship that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have with our oppressors.
It's heavy. Kind of the kind.
You have been abused for thousands of years since the Greeks. Blacks, Hispanics have been abused and murdered and beat down like dogs.
Kind of the kind.
And now the one day they say, hi, how you doing? And they get you off because it's their goddamn job and duty to do so. You think that they're good. Let me help blacks and Hispanics out. White people are supposed to give you everything.
That's right.
You shouldn't have to pay for water, Elisha. The Arabs should give you all of that goddamn gold they got over there in the Middle East. That's our rightful land.
Damn right.
Dubai, all of that gold and that wealth and that oil, that belongs to us.
Damn right.
The Africans, any whatever the hell they say that makes the phones all of that metal over there in Africa.
Kind of the kind.
That some oppressor discovered. They should give us all of that because those nations owe it to us.
Damn right.
For the crimes that they have all committed together, that they conspired together to commit against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They owe us everything. They owe us their lives. They owe us their lives.
That's right.
And you're happy because a criminal defense attorney, Pat in Kansas City, gets you off? What in the hell are you doing committing crimes? Don't you know that you're royalty? That you're God's chosen people? That you're a descendant of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob
That's
and King
right.
David and Jesus Christ? You're not a criminal. You're children of God. You're men of the Lord. Your daughters of Zion, not a whore and a prostitute. God chose you. He didn't choose the white man. The white man owes you his life. He owes you his children's lives. And if you don't separate from your oppressor and get the hell out of the Christian church, you are going to be owed to the oppressor.
That's right.
You are going to go get Pat in Kansas City, some criminal defense attorney, so he can get you off because why? You selling drugs? The church made $800 billion. What in the hell are you doing selling drugs? What are you doing with PPP loan scams? And the church has all of the money. They're the reason why you're homeless. They're the reason why you're sick. They're the reason why you have COVID-19. And your daughters are getting child molested and going missing. And your sons are filling up the jail cells like there is no tomorrow. It's all thanks to the Christian church.
Damn right.
Get the hell out of the Christian church. And you won't have to worry about your daughter going missing at 14 years old. And your son going in a penitentiary for a crime he never committed. And you being some drunk alcoholic and your wife being a whore. That's thanks to the Christian church.
Damn right.
That's thanks to Martin Luther King Jr. That's thanks to Malcolm X. That's thanks to Minister Farrakhan. Separate from the other nations, or they will turn on you like they've done everybody else in history. They turn on the Africans. They turn on the Romans. They turn on the Arabs. They turn on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and put us in the grave and took our brothers' countries and stolen our brothers' land and raped our brothers' wives and murdered our fathers and our mothers. And you are saying there's good white people. They owe you their life.
That's right.
And God is going to give you their life if you come together under the commanding General Yana and separate from your oppressor and do the very thing that the Christian church has never taught us to do.
That's
right. And that's love your own brothers and your own sisters. That's preferring your own people. That's choosing your sisters over being some whore that's choosing her to be your wife. Instead of Kim Kardashian. Instead of Serena Williams choosing a white man to marry, she could have chose her brother. That's the way you get justice. That's the way your daughter doesn't go missing anymore. Is by brotherhood. It's one thing to keep the laws of God. It's another thing to teach your people to keep the laws of God. That's brotherhood.
Right.
That's what Christ did. And that is what he wants all of his people to do. To help one another out in the jam. To separate from the oppressor. To stop loving the other nations, but love your own people.
That's right.
That's a start. And that's what you have to do. Not worry if there's any good white people. They owe you everything.
That's right.
Every business, every Wall Street, every shipping company, every auctioneer company, every cattle, every piece of land, all of the Washington, D.C. monuments, they owe it all to Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Damn right.
And if you do not separate from the oppressor, you will never see it. Only if you join your people under commanding General Yana, then will you get justice. Then will you get salvation. Then will you be protected. Only if you separate from your oppressor and join your own people.
Most High in Christ. Listen, man. What the Ottawa just bought out, I mean, what he said was just, it's so true. And Salaki Ottawa, can I get Matthew chapter 10, verse 6, Baba Kashab, please? Because separating from the oppressor and understanding, and we have to understand this, if you so-called black, Latino, and Native Indian, man, that Christ, our King Christ, he died for us. He died for you. You understand? He died for the nation of Israel, man. And what Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK do under Commander General Yohana is come and teach so-called blacks, Latinos this very point that the Ottawaans just said, man, to separate. Your life depends on it.
That's right.
If you love your children, man, their lives depend on it.
That's right.
Because if not, you just never know. Well, you know, Ottawa, we don't, you know, what's that old saying that we used to say that people still say, boy, you don't believe fat means greasy. Mm-hmm. Listen, and that's Negro's problem. That's our problem, man. Everything can be going absolutely fine, and we'll put off, you know, the things that are important. We'll put the Most High off. Because that's Christianity. As long as everything is good, you good.
God.
But hell, as soon as you go to jail, then you want to start praying.
Right.
When you could have been living righteous the whole entire time,
That's right.
fighting your demons, learning how to be, learning how to be a disciple of Christ, man.
That's right.
A follower of Christ, man. But instead, hell, what do? We celebrate birthdays.
God.
You understand? We go smoke weed, laced with fentanyl, as the Ottawa always brings out. You're going to die.
That's right.
We're going to die in the streets of America because we disobey the Most High. And he is angry because of our disobedience, man.
That's right.
But, it's the hope is, that brothers and sisters hear this word and they repent.
You're right.
You understand? Because the poor brother that's in prison, he's in prison unlawfully,
God.
unrighteously.
Right.
But he said he has hope. But the hope is repentance, man.
Damn right.
You can't just say I have hope. You have to do what the Most High tells you, man. The Lord sent his only son to die for the nation of Israel, a nation that is not worthy, man.
That's right.
We unworthy of this, man. So we have to, this isn't something we should take light. We can't keep putting it off because of how we feel and what we've been taught when we know what we've been taught is wrong.
That's right.
That's why it's people running up out of the Christian church left and right.
That's right.
They running up out of the Christian church left and right, man. Hell, I mean, they going into some other bogus religion, but they know they at least know the pastor is lying.
That's right.
They know pastor is sitting up there telling you anything to get your money,
That's right.
to sleep with your woman, to keep you oppressed
That's
and
right.
enslaved in a nation that doesn't care about you, man.
That's right.
But Christ said he cares about the nation of Israel. You got that out of one?
God, so like you say it again.
I wanted Matthew 10 and 6.
God, so like you.
But actually you can start at 10 and 5. Salakia.
God, Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
So this is Christ sent the disciples, man. You understand? He sent Peter and all them hardcore brothers into the, he sent them into the city and told them not to go in the way of the heathens.
That's right.
Who are the heathens? The heathens are our oppressor, the so-called white man. If you're not I'm going to just get straight to the point. If you're not an Israelite, man, if you're not so-called black, Latino, or Native Indian, on your father's side,
Right.
you are a heathen, according to the Bible, man. So what is this saying? Christ sent the disciples to not go into the ways of the Gentiles or the heathens, man. Because now you got Christians that say God loves everybody.
Right.
Jesus came to save everybody. Well, if that's the case, why would Jesus tell the disciples not to go on the way of the Gentiles
That's right.
and the heathens?
That's right.
Because Christianity is a damn lie.
That's right.
You understand? Verse 6, Baba Kashah.
God, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
But go rather into the white man.
Lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Go rather into the Asian man.
The lost sheep of the house of Israel.
It says go rather. It's telling you, it's showing you a distinct people who he's talking about.
That's
He
right.
said go rather. He didn't say go to the lost sheep, then the heathen.
Right.
He said go rather to the lost sheep.
Yeah, right.
So it's showing this right here. Rather, it's showing us that Christ prefers one nation of people over another nation of people.
That's right.
You understand?
Right.
We got to get that through our mind, man. We have to understand this, that Christ was a brother to the nation of Israel.
Yeah, right.
He couldn't, brotherhood couldn't get more, it couldn't be displayed any better than
That's
Christ,
right.
man.
That's right.
It's no other way, there's no way around it. Christ died for a nation of people who hated him at this time, man.
That's right.
Who hated him. And it reminds me, out of wine, he was locked up. Christ was locked up unjust.
That's right.
Christ was locked up, blameless.
Right.
And hell, he didn't break any of the laws.
That's right.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
But what did the people say? They rather have the what was the guy that they had? He was a
Barabbas.
he was a thief, right?
A murderer, I think.
He was a murderer.
A murderer and a thief, if I'm not mistaken.
He was a murderer and a thief.
goddamn sinner.
He was a
Like,
there you go.
worship
Just to,
Jesus Christ.
hell, I mean, and that's Salaki, if I may, hell, that's every rapper we want free today.
Right.
A goddamn sinner.
So like, if I could,
Please.
if I may, stop that garbage of freeing everybody. Leave they ass in jail, incarcerated. That's what they need to be.
God of the
What
God.
the hell are you freeing Pookie and Bobo for? So they can come out here and terrorize the streets some more? Keep their ass locked up.
Right.
If you want to help the brothers and sisters that are incarcerated, you come into the Israelite School UPK and stop wearing free your homie and your family's t-shirts. Your daddy did 25 years because he was a murderer. He was a terrorist to the streets of Chicago. He was a terrorist in the streets of Kansas City. He should be locked up. He should be in jail. He got what he deserved.
Right.
And if you don't want the same life as your family incarcerated, you get in the Israelite School UPK because we have a prison program to save the brothers that are locked up.
That's right.
To help the brothers that are incarcerated in our oppressors, so-called justice system. We know it's an unjust system, but if you sell drugs out, we're not going to be yelling free you. If you rape some girls, for damn sure not going to be saying free cuz. Cuz needs to be locked up, Elisha. Stop saying free him and free them. Stop doing that. They deserve it. This brother here that you read about, he didn't deserve it. You know who else didn't deserve it? Christ.
Right.
And you kill Christ afresh every Sunday in the church, and you never say free Christ. You know why? Because you love the lust the oppressor provides for you.
That's right.
You love the weed and the whores and the white women and the church and the Christianity and the voting and the Democratic Party. You love it. You should love your brothers and your sisters enough to stop doing drugs, to stop committing crimes. We know life is hard and life is tough, but if Christ could do it, so could you.
That's right.
If Christ was a poor black man who was disciplined enough to keep the laws of God while being tempted the same way you are tempted, he could do it, so can I. So could you.
That's right.
So could your sisters and your brothers and your family, but you will never do it staying under the lights and the teachings of Martin Luther King Jr. You will never learn to be as strong as Christ was is if you continue to learn under Eddie Long and T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar. Creflo Dollar and T.D. Jakes doesn't want you to be as strong as Christ. Doesn't want you to have the brotherhood Christ had. But Commanding General Yohana does. Commanding General Yohana absolutely wants blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to have the same brotherhood Christ gave us.
That's right.
And showed us. He wants you to have the same discipline that Christ had. He wants black and Hispanic men and Native Indian men to be as austere as Christ. But you could never accomplish that feat if you continue to have sex with whores. You could never do this thing here if you continue to get high and smoke weed because your daddy wasn't in your life at 6 years old. You have to be strong. And being strong starts here in the UPK. It doesn't start with you freeing cuz and going murdering more cats for your homeboy. It ain't about getting revenge on blacks and Hispanics. Love your brothers and sisters. If you want to be strong, love those brothers that killed your family members.
Damn right.
That's strength. Love the brothers who murdered your father. Love them. Love the brothers who stepped on your shoes. Love the sister that left you for another man. That's strength.
Damn right.
That's real, hardcore, biblical, Christ, God-like strength.
That's right.
That can only happen if you love your people, not if you love your oppressor. You couldn't love your oppressor and be as strong as Christ. Christ hated his oppressor. And guess who else Christ hated? Elisha, guess who else Christ hated? Christians.
I was going to say sinners.
Christians.
So kind of the kind.
Christ hated the goddamn Christian church and those Christian leaders. He hated those Christian leaders. You know why? Because Christian leaders teach you how to be weak and soft and not as strong as Christ. If you want to have the same strength Christ had, you should start with brotherhood because that is what Christ started. Loving his own people out of the same streets and ghetto and hell as him. Loving his own people.
Damn right.
You don't get strength that Christ had or that God wants to give you by loving the oppressor. You gain the strength that Christ had by loving your own people. That's how you gain strength, man.
Damn right. Most High in Christ. Because, especially in the Christian church, black leadership, if you're not an ISUPK, man, you're a hypocrite.
That's right.
I mean, that's the only way that I can just lay it out flat for you just like that, man. You're a hypocrite. And everybody can understand and everybody claims that they hate hypocrites. Nobody likes a hypocrite. Who the hell likes a hypocrite?
That's right.
But everybody outside this school, you know, is a hypocrite, man.
That's right.
No integrity, no brotherhood. I mean, nothing. And that's why it's so easy for our oppressor to keep us in slavery, to keep us in bondage, because Christ was a man of integrity. Christ wasn't a hypocrite.
That's right.
He wasn't any of those things.
Yeah, right.
So he would be able to pick up if you were, you know, not keeping the law. He would pick up very easy if he was a hypocrite.
Yeah, right.
And that's why they hated him, because he wasn't a hypocrite.
That's right.
You understand? They wanted Christ to be a hypocrite.
That's right.
Because that's what every Christian wants.
That's right.
What happens to like Yadawan? What the hell? What do we do when we're Christian? You understand? You point out you got a problem with a brother or sister, and you point something out. Well, hell, I don't even gotta go that. I don't even gotta do that. When we go to camp and we out there battling cats and we're showing them their wrongs, they always want to bring up something you may have done in the past. Nobody's perfect.
John.
You probably was doing it too. Because you know why they do that? Because the Christian church has taught us that no one can be perfect.
That's right.
No one can keep the law.
That's right.
No one can be a true brother or sister.
That's right.
So you have to find flaws in someone else to make you feel good.
Right.
I mean, think about that. How disgusting is that? What if Christ stopped like that, man?
That's right.
that is a disgusting way to think. That is stupid, Salakia.
That's right.
So basically, you telling me I can never trust nobody.
That's right.
I can never truly love nobody, man.
That's right. Yeah, right.
And if you think like that, you learned that from the Christian church.
That's right.
And that's not of Christ, man. It's nowhere you'll never find that in the Bible.
That's right.
Those type of characteristics, those type of flaws, you have to battle them, man. You have to defeat those demons, man. And you're only going to learn that in the ISUPK, man.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right.
You understand? Salak Yadawan. I think on verse 7. Did you finish verse 6?
God.
Okay, verse 7.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Man, they've been saying the kingdom of heaven was at hand back then.
Right.
And we're still saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand now.
That's right.
And you have to understand what the kingdom of heaven it is, man.
Right.
The kingdom of heaven is rulership.
Yeah, right.
It's not some little, it's not some make-believe, what the hell, Salakia. It's not make-believe with naked baby angels floating, naked white babies floating on clouds,
Right.
some mystical place where, hell, I don't even think they believe, you'll be married in the kingdom of heaven. I think they think everybody will be I've heard that, everybody in heaven is going to be, what they think like the angels is like, they think angels are men and women combined. So no one is going to be, reproductive.
God.
So
if I may,
please.
Christians don't understand what the kingdom of heaven is because they don't know the Bible.
Right.
And because they don't know the Bible and they've learned it under idiots like Martin Luther King Jr. and idiots like T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar and the Nation of Islam, who teach the Bible. Like, the Nation of Islam does not teach the Quran.
They
The
teach
Nation
the Bible.
of Islam teaches the Bible.
They
are Christians out. They are bow tie, bean pie eating, bean pie making Christians out. That is who the Nation of Islam is. And everybody have taught us the wrong thing in the Bible. Commander Juliana knows what the kingdom of heaven is. How do I know? Because he's helped build he's helped build the kingdom of heaven here in the Israelite School UPK. The kingdom of heaven is not heaven. There are two different things. Heaven is a place where the Most High dwells. That is where you're not going.
Right.
The kingdom of heaven is here on earth.
That's
and
right.
guess who established the kingdom of heaven? The Israelite School of Universal Practical
Damn right.
Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th
Damn
Street,
right.
Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we have been building the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is not going to have all nations in the kingdom of heaven loving each other, having sex with one another, turning into angels. Whatever you thought the kingdom of heaven was, it's not it. It's a lie. The kingdom of heaven is what you see in the UPK.
Damn right.
At the Passover.
Damn right.
At the Feast of Purim. At the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That is the kingdom of heaven. where brothers and sisters come together who not arguing, who not fighting, sisters not getting abortions, black women not putting black husbands on child support, no miscegenation, no integration. It is a separate place where only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians dwell in unity, and that is what King David said is, behold, is so beautiful.
That's right.
King David said, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. That he was talking about the Israelite school UPK. And that is the kingdom of heaven, where brothers and sisters come to get their issues solved.
That's right.
Not to create issues. Where sisters come to get security, not to get raped and molested. You go to the church to get harmed and to get molested and sexually assaulted. In Israelite school UPK is where you come to get it fixed. That's the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven here that Commander Juliana has helped establish in the UPK is something that is so beautiful, words can't even describe it. Which is what King David said. It's like the ointment, it's like the oil flowing down Aaron's beard. That's brotherhood, The kingdom of heaven is brotherhood. It's tonight's class topic. It's brotherhood.
That's right.
That's the kingdom of heaven. It's where you don't have to worry about some girl going missing and getting kidnapped. You think children at the Passover will go missing? Hell no. They're all safe. Our sisters are safe. You know why? Because we are the opposite of Christian.
That's right.
Because we are not Christian, somehow we're safe. And we can all come together. The Passover, I guess thousands of blacks and Hispanics there who were former gang members. Do you understand? Who were former thugs and liars and thieves and violent men and men who were once incarcerated. We can all somehow come together in the same place, in the same location, and love one another. Not have any strife with each other, not arguing and bickering, not talking about what something happened in the past. We don't have those problems. We don't have those issues because this place is the kingdom of heaven. You don't have to worry about your 13-year-old daughter getting raped as if like she was in the GMS. The GMS would rape your 13-year-old daughter.
Forget about
it. The IUIC would kill your black daughter like they did to that sister Joy Morgan.
Right.
The Israelite School UPK is the kingdom of heaven, and that is what Christ is talking about building. And this is the place here. This is that place, man. The ISUPK under Commander Juliana. We have the kingdom of heaven right here. And we are the rulers. The priests and prophets that you see are the black men that are the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men that are going to be in charge when Christ comes back.
That's right.
That's the kingdom of heaven.
Damn right.
This is the place you come to make your election sure and to rule in the kingdom of heaven. If you want to just make the kingdom of heaven, go to church. Go to the mosque. Go to some fake Israelite group that wears all one color. But don't come in here because this is the place you come to become perfect.
Right.
And to be flawless and to be somebody who is going to rule when Christ comes back. Not just make it, Elisha. Imagine being somebody who just wants to make the kingdom of heaven and don't even know what the hell the kingdom of heaven is. To your preacher, the kingdom of heaven is going to have Hitler and Joseph Stalin and George Bush and Bill Clinton and your grandmama and Sister Smallwood all in the same place.
Kind of the kind.
And here, the Bible says the opposite. The kingdom of heaven is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Kind of the kind.
And if you're not one of those, the kingdom of heaven is not for you. This isn't the civil rights movement. This isn't the SCLC. This isn't NATO. This isn't the Democratic Party. This isn't the Republican Party. The kingdom of heaven is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians ruling the planet Earth. And that is what is the UPK. That is what the ISUPK is. Men who were once former gangbangers, who were once violent men, who come into the truth and learn how to be reformed.
Right.
And how to be renewed. The renewing of your mind that the Bible talks about. That is who we become. And now we're being led by the man that God chose to lead his people. And that man is Commander Juliana.
That's right.
And because we follow him, we're going to rule in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
And that is what the kingdom of heaven is.
Count it on count.
If you want to experience that, you better show up to the Passover, the Lord's only Passover, the 53rd annual
That's
Lord's
right.
Passover, April the 15th, down in Cocoa Beach, Florida, hosted by Commander Juliana and Israelite School UPK.
Damn right.
You're going to experience real kingdom of heaven, real power, real brotherhood, and real authority. You understand?
Damn
Salakia.
right. Nah, please, nah. You know, you drop it heavy all the time, Salakia. And he's exactly right. And I just want to, Salakia, if I may, Baba Gashah, can I get Luke chapter 6, verse 31?
Sure.
Because, you know, the whole thing, like Adawan said, brotherhood builds the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
You understand? And we must know that Christ was the ultimate brother, man. Nobody was a bigger brother, or nobody outdid Christ when it came to brotherhood.
That's right.
You understand?
16.
No, so like it's 6 and 31, Baba Kasha.
So like, I got you.
And I just wanted to pull something to show, what Christ said, how we should conduct ourselves. And if every brother could or sister could understand this, man, it would just make it a lot simpler for our nation. You understand how brothers and sisters can, if we could get along, and you look at everyone, if you look at another person like you see yourself, like it would make it a lot easier to be a brother, man. But instead, we're just so selfish, man.
That's right.
Because of that Christian church, it's just like, man, it's heavy. That selfishness is heavy. Salakia. You got that out of one?
God. Luke chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
You understand? That's cut and dry. You understand? Can you read it again, Baba Kasha?
Luke chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would, Salakia, and as ye would that men should do to you.
So, and as ye would that men should do to you. So you're looking forward to people treating you right.
That's right.
You're looking forward to people, respecting you.
Right.
You understand? You're looking forward to people, not stepping on your shoes.
Right.
Or, you're looking forward to the good things that people do to you, man.
Right.
You understand? But how are you as a person?
That's right.
What are your characteristics? Are you treating people how you want to be treated?
Right.
And in a lot of cases with so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians is no.
Right.
Because we are selfish, man.
That's right.
And we learned that from the Christian church. The Christian church doesn't treat anyone how they should be treated, man. The Christian church expects our nation of people to just respect Christianity. And, hell, the pastor can sleep with your wife.
Right.
You understand? They can molest the kids.
Right.
They can take all your damn money every Sunday and then spend it on whatever the hell that they want to spend it on, and then teach you that, you just got to love.
That's right.
And it's all the sins are covered up by love.
Right.
When they don't know what the hell love is.
That's right.
The scriptures teach you what love is, man.
That's
In
right.
1 John, what's that, 5 and 3?
First John. 2 John
3 and 4.
5 and 3 is 2 John 6. 2 John 6 is another one that's going to tell you, for this is love, that you walk after his commandments.
Kind of the kind.
That's 2 John 6. That's a perfect one to teach Christians that's coming into the truth what love is.
Kind of the kind. Well, if we got enough time, we can pull that next.
Okay.
But it says, and as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. So, man, if you want love from a brother, if you want respect from a sister, if you want, hell, listen, if you want the love of the Most High, you have to obey him, man.
That's right.
You can't expect the Lord to love you,
That's right.
and you hate everything that he tells you to do.
That's right.
You want to go celebrate your birthday, guess what? You hate the Lord.
That's right.
If you want to go sell drugs to your own nation, guess what? You hate the Lord.
Yeah, right.
Hell, if you want to sell drugs, period, you hate the Lord.
That's right.
You understand? If you want to go vote, be a Republican, a Democrat,
Right.
you hate the Lord, man.
That's right.
And you want to celebrate these holidays that are coming up. What's the next one?
Day.
Valentine's Day is coming up. What's right after that? St. Patrick's Day is coming up. And then the summertime is gonna be hitting. Ooh, look, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be out there smoking them pork ribs, them pork baby. Not we, but I'm saying as a nation of people. I'm not. Listen, but we're gonna be out there smoking them baby back ribs. You understand? Getting drunk till we puke.
Right.
And shooting fireworks everywhere. And we were locked up on a goddamn fort. We were still in slavery on so-called Independence Day, man.
That's right.
I ain't mean to go on all that, but the fact is that if you celebrate these holidays and you serve these other gods, there is no way that you love the Lord, man.
That's right.
That's the point. We're hypocrites, man. So, like it says, and as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise, man. So not only, the men, because the scriptures tell you, hell, if you hate your brother who you have seen, there's no way that you can love the Lord.
That's right.
If you can't even do this with your brother, how the hell you gonna serve the Lord, man? How the hell we gonna serve the Lord when we hate each other?
That's right.
There's no way to serve the Lord and to please the Most High if we hate each other, man. If we're not brothers to each other, man. It's no way. It's impossible. Regardless of what the Christian church teaches us, man, it's impossible. And Adawan, you said something so heavy. I mean, especially, I'm going to lay this on the fellas real quick, on men. Imagine having to love a woman who slept around and committed adultery, put you on child support, didn't allow you to see your children. If you didn't have gifts for Christmas, imagine you having to take this woman back and love her.
Right.
That's the whole nation of Israel.
That's right.
So now you see how the Most High feels when we do what he tells us not to do, man.
That's right.
Imagine having to take a whore back.
That's right.
Who slept, it's like it. I don't even want to get graphic. I'm just going to say that this whore has slept with everybody.
Right.
Man, you know, woo. Yeah, man, she get around.
It's like, not just every black and Hispanic person either.
That's
Imagine
what
you had a woman that slept with some Chinese men. She letting some Chinese Buddhists on top of that thing. Letting some oppressor who don't wash. Some Moabite, Chinese who don't wash. Some Arab who don't wash. Some African. She allowing every nation to just come inside of her. And you could take that any way you want it. Imagine that sister is your woman and you got to love her. That's what you do when you celebrate Christmas.
That's right.
When you don't have brotherhood and treat your own people with respect and dignity and to take care of your own people, you hate God. You are that whore that is cheating on their spouse. That is what you do when you don't have brotherhood. You don't have brotherhood if you go and celebrate Christmas. You don't have brotherhood if you go and be a Christian. Christianity serves so many different gods. That's like some black woman that's your woman who's had sex with every nation. Not just black men, your homies. She has sex with your daddy, your uncles, your cousins, your Chinese homeboys, some African you don't even know.
The mailman.
The mailman. She just letting everybody just cut this up. Women and men and horses and dogs and cats. She letting everything go up in there.
Right.
And then you still got to get on top of her at the end of the day. That's the relationship you've been having with the Most High.
Right.
Some whore being the harlot to every nation. You love America, so you vote. You love the UK, so you give that old disgusting woman, that Queen of England, that respect and saluting they flag, whatever the hell they do.
Right.
And they celebrate Christmas, and you love this and you do that. You love democracy, so you vote Democrat. You love Bill Clinton, so you voted for him. You kill Christ you put him on the cross every week, every Sunday, every voting year, every day, every birthday, every holiday. Every time you do something that is out of order with the Bible, you saying to the Most High God that you hate him. You're saying when you don't give your people the correct honor and respect that they are due because they're your brothers and sisters and that you're supposed to have brotherhood with, you're telling the Most High God, F you. That is what you're doing.
Right.
To make it more graphic so brothers and sisters can realize what you have been doing forever. You've been doing it forever.
That's right.
That's why the Greeks had us in slavery, why the Romans had us in slavery, why the Africans had us in slavery, why the Egyptians had us in slavery, why the Babylonians had us in slavery, why the white man has us in slavery, why our daughters go missing, because you fail to have brotherhood on your own people. And that's how simple it is, man. It starts with brotherhood. You don't have to make a drastic step. Listen, okay, you're going to celebrate your birthday. Could you at least love black people? Could you at least love Hispanics and Native Indians? Could you at least stop hating your own people? Okay, you want to vote. Could you at least love your own people and make sure that they're safe in their tawab and they're taken care of and they're secure? Could you at least make sure of that? Like, you having to keep the laws of God, it starts with loving your own people. That is the most important law that the Most High gave us. To rebuke our brothers and our sisters.
That's right.
To love one another. To take care of each other. There's no reason why you should have to go beg an oppressor for public housing. When brothers and sisters own real estate. Floyd Mayweather owns billions of dollars worth of real estate. There's no reason you should be homeless. The church has $800 billion. There's no reason you should go hungry. There's no reason your daughter should go missing. All the money you could pay off a security agency to keep black children safe at night and black women safe, there's no reason that we live the way we do. The only reason is not because we don't keep the laws of God, Elisha, but because we simply don't have brotherhood.
That's right.
We simply don't love one another. We simply don't take the time out to speak to each other. You've been living next to your next door neighbor for 2 years now, don't know who they are, how many kids they have. You never spent time to go over there to check on them, ask them how their day went. You never broke bread with them to see what they're up to, gave them a pound cake, came over, had some fried chicken, told them we'll watch the kids for you. We see the kids, they getting on your nerve all day. We'll watch them for you while you go to your slavery. Like, we can't even be cordial with one another. You see a brother pull up in a new Benz, you want to steal his Benz and his woman and kill him.
Right.
That's thanks to being a Christian.
That's right.
A selfish, stinking Christian. If you want to be a Christian, be my guest. If you want to be a Muslim, go ahead. You want to be a conscious community, go ahead. But just know that your life will always be the way it is if you never start loving your people.
That's right.
If you don't start loving your brothers and sisters, you are in for a rude awakening.
Damn right. And Salaki Adawan, if I may, hell, the rude awakening's here.
That's right.
Us not being brothers to our nation of people is the reason why, we go out here and march over problems that can be solved if we knew who we are.
That's right.
If we love one another.
That's right.
We wouldn't have to go out here and march, thanks to Dr. Martin Luther King destroying, because we talk about black business.
Luther King, that's what we're going to start calling him.
Marching Luther King.
Marching Luther King. That was a marching nigga.
He was, man. That nigga was in shape there, Adawan.
Brother, he marched, had children marching, pregnant women marching. He just marched out and got murdered out.
Adawan.
He ain't never hurt nobody. He never killed nobody.
He
and
didn't.
They murdered him out.
He
They
didn't.
just marched. He marched and was surprised. And everybody was so shocked when he got killed out. Everybody was so surprised when he was murdered and he was killed because he was such a man of nonviolence. And he talked so eloquently and he had such good orations and spoken and speaking, and they killed him because he was a church man. He was a choir, preacher, pastor. You know why? Because he didn't love black people.
That's right.
The Lord allowed that man to be killed.
That's right.
The Lord allowed so many deaths and tragedies in our lifetime that we've been alive to see. Florona and COVID-22 and COVID-19 and the Omicron. You know why these things exist and why we die more than anybody? Because you simply refuse to love your brother who lives right next to you. You refuse to help the sister that lives across the hall from you. You refuse to go and break bread with your people and choose your people. So guess what? The Lord, if you got Florona and you don't have a respirator, you don't have health insurance, you're poor, you're in poverty, you beg and in need for everything. Why? Because you don't love your own people.
That's right.
You don't prefer your own people. Martin Luther King Jr., he never murdered nobody as far as I know. He never, he never, God, he was a horrible bastard. He was a lustful son of a gun. But he never murdered nobody.
Got it a gun.
He never robbed anybody. He held somebody up like a stick-up kid. And the Lord allowed him to get murdered out and get shot in front of everybody so everybody could see. And all this cat wanted was to love everybody. Like, all Martin Luther King Jr. wanted to do was love everybody. He wanted to love the Asians and the Arabs and the Africans and the white man and bring us all together. And the oppressor murdered him for it. He wasn't a radical like Malcolm X. He wasn't somebody who was opposed to miscegenation and segregation. Integration. He wanted it. He wanted love and peace for all the world, for all the little boys and girls. And he was murdered because, the very people that he hated, his own people.
Right.
And that's the only thing that matters to the Most High God.
That's right.
God you care. Listen, you love who you want to love. But the people you better love the most is your own people.
That's right.
The people you better take care of the most is your own people.
That's right.
The people you better keep safe the most is your own people. Or you could end up like Martin Luther King Jr.
Mm-hmm.
You could end up like R. Kelly. You could end up like Malcolm X. You too could be Medgar Evers. It can happen to you. You ain't did much of nothing. This Jakes all the time. They come to us and say, man, I ain't murdered nobody ever. I never sold drugs. Do you love your own people? Because that is what matters in life. If you take care of your own people or not. Because if you're somebody who's celebrating Christmas, you don't love your own people. If you're somebody who voted for Joe Biden, you hate your people, man. If you go to that church every Sunday, you absolutely hate black people. It's 100% sure you hate black people.
God.
And that's what matters, Elijah.
Got the guy.
So you too could be like Martin Luther King Jr. if you don't start loving your own people. So like it.
Oh no. And that's just the truth of the matter. Because, in Christianity also, one of the everything's a flaw in Christianity.
Right.
But, one of the things that stand out with me is like no one can do any wrong.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like they teach and preach Sunday all them goddamn hours, standing up there sweating and singing. They teaching and preaching like everyone has to come get saved. Like, what the hell does that mean in the Christian church, man? Everyone has to come get saved, but you're telling people or allowing people to, do what the hell they want to do.
Right.
Like, that's not being a brother or a sister. You understand? And that's what Christ, when you read this Bible and you see how hardcore Christ was, man, and then you look at a Christian pastor, you're like, what the hell would you even, like, you doing nothing Christ did.
Right, that's right. Yeah, right.
Like, it's like you were doing nothing Christ did, man. Christ, he'll come and he will offend you, man. Because he gonna keep it, what we say, we keep it 100, we gonna keep it a stack. Christ kept it a stack.
That's right.
He gonna tell you, like, listen, all that what you talking about, that ain't on nothing.
Right.
But what do we do in the Christian church? Oh man, I don't want to judge nobody.
Right,
Exactly. It ain't, no, you supposed to judge, man.
That's right.
You understand? You can't judge if you a goddamn a hypocrite, man.
That's right.
Hell, how the hell you gonna judge somebody for committing adultery when you sleeping with everybody's wife?
That's right.
That's what the Bible's talking about, man.
That's right.
Christ didn't break the law.
That's right.
And he came to show his disciples how not to break the law.
That's right.
So they can go judge, you understand, righteously, man.
That's right.
So how the hell you say you a Christian following Christ and you do nothing that Christ did, man?
Right.
That right there alone is just, it makes no sense.
Right.
Christ judged. Well, you can't judge.
Christ kept the law.
Christ kept the law. Well, the law's done away with.
Right. Christ loved his own people. You hate your own people.
Christ loved his own people.
That's right.
You hate your own people.
That's right.
How the hell are you a Christian, man?
Christ hated the Christian leadership.
Damn right. He definitely hated Christian leadership. He hated
are
those Sadducees and Pharisees,
That's right.
and Creflo Dollar,
Right.
T.D. Jakes,
Damn right.
who the hell? Martin Luther King,
That's right.
Malcolm X.
That's right.
All them Christ hated, man.
That's right.
They had that same spirit that everyone that Christ condemned,
And you love them.
and we love them, man.
Like you was just proving Elijah shots a liar if I could.
Please.
The last things.
No, please, Adawan.
Just like
You
was
know
saying,
you're going to drop it
that
heavy.
was so heavy what you said. Now, that's you, brother. That's you was dropping it heavy. I teach a hell of a class. And like you said, everything the Christian church loves, Christ hated.
Kind of a kind.
Everything. Voting, you think Christ wanted to vote?
Hell no.
That's a sin to vote.
Kind of the kind.
That's a sin. He's the one who said what? You can't serve two masters.
Kind of the kind.
Christ hated voting. He didn't allow voting. He didn't love whores. You love whores. He didn't get high. You get high.
Right.
He didn't say you can't be perfect. He said you better be perfect.
That's right.
You better be perfect.
That's right.
You hate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Christ only loved blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You love white women. Christ told a white woman she was a dog. You love the President Joe Biden. Christ said to separate from Caesar.
That's right.
Give Joe Biden what belongs to him and give God what belongs to God. You are a Christian. Christ hated the Christian church
That's
and
right.
Christian leadership. You love Christian leadership. Christ hated the likes of Dr. King. He said, bring those thine enemies that I should not reign. Bring them, enslave them before me.
That's right.
You will be the least in the kingdom of heaven. He that teaches, he said, brother, Christ said that your Christian pastor was the worst murderer that you could ever imagine. Christ said that. Christ said that it is harder. It's like, get me right, Elijah. He said that not the Pharisees and Sadducees. He said the whores and the publicans will see the kingdom of heaven before you.
Kind of the kind.
All these brothers and sisters you look at as whores and gang bangers and prison inmates and thugs and gangsters with their pants sagging below their waist, they're going to see the kingdom of heaven before your preacher. All those liars, those thieves, those gang members, those whores, they'll see the kingdom of heaven before T.D. Jakes. They'll see the kingdom of heaven before Creflo Dollar. They'll see the kingdom of heaven before Martin Luther King Jr. They'll see the kingdom of heaven before Malcolm X. You know why? Because Christ said so. That's why. You do the exact opposite of what Christ taught and believed. You are anti-Christ. In the UPK, we're for Christ. We're pro-Christ.
That's right.
We follow Christ. We do what Christ said. We live our lives by what Christ taught us and taught the men that followed him. You don't. You're the opposite. And those are the reasons why Christians are not fit to lead. Their day is soon at an end.
That's right.
The same way our oppressor's day is soon at an end, the way General Mahayaman prophesied, our 12 Shield General Mahayaman prophesied.
Damn right.
The Christian churches, that black Christian church, the storefront churches, the mega churches, the churches that need building funds, the Baptist church, the Southern Baptist church, the Methodist church, the Catholic church, the non-denominational church, their time is soon ending. Their day is almost over. That $800 billion that they stole, like, is going to be nothing. It's going to be a drop in a bucket for the justice that the Most High God is going to give to them for what they have done against God's chosen people. God doesn't forget. This is something so heavy, if I may, Elisha.
Please.
That Commanding General Yana just said last night that moved me to tears, brother. He said that you may forget about all of the poor blacks and Hispanics that have to live under a bridge, but God doesn't forget.
That's right.
You live in your fancy houses and you drive your fancy cars, and you simply forget on your day-to-day life that there's some brother and sister who has a family that lives under a bridge, while the church racks in trillions of dollars off of black poor people and Hispanic poor people and Native Indian poor people. God doesn't forget. God sees the cruelty that the church have done to black people while we were oppressed, while we were in slavery. He sees the $65 million jets that Creflo Dollar bought off the backs of poor black women and poor black men. He saw the crimes that the church has allowed to go on for centuries from the hands of our oppressor. And the Lord doesn't forget.
That's right.
He sees it all.
Damn right.
The time for the church is at an end now. Their day is over, just like the white man's day is over. Our oppressor's rulership is soon at an end. The church is going down with them.
Damn right.
The Christian church, the Catholic church, Roman Catholicism, the Queen, the British crown, the gold, it's all going down.
That's
the
right.
oppressor goes down. And finally, justice will get handed to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Damn right.
Finally, judgment and punishment will come to our oppressors and the Christian church. And blacks and Hispanics will finally be free.
That's right.
Will finally thrive. Will finally have a community. Will finally be safe. Will finally have rulership. Will be able to tell the oppressors what they can and cannot eat. Will be able to tell Donald Trump what to do and what not to do.
Damn right.
Will be able to tell the Arabs that this is what you can do and this is what you can't do. Will give laws to the Chinese on what to eat and what not to eat. That day is coming out.
Damn right.
And you better pick your side now. The Bible says make your election sure. And your election better be brotherhood.
Damn right.
You better join together and cleave to your own people. You better cleave to the Israelite School UPK and separate from the church.
Damn right.
And separate from your oppressor.
Damn right.
Salaki.
And we're going to end it right here. Salaki, can I get Matthew chapter 9 and 10? Because you said something so heavy, Adawan. Something so heavy, because the Most High in Christ didn't forget about the nation, didn't forget about the poor.
That's right.
He wasn't a respecter of persons. And if you think that you're perfect inside that Christian church and you know absolutely nothing what brotherhood is, the Most High remember, the Most High sees everything, man.
That's right.
And judgment will come.
That's right.
He's going to start with the nation of Israel, man, because we're the ones who broke the laws.
That's right.
You understand? So, like, when you got that out of one, can you read that?
God, Matthew 10 and 9, right?
9 and 10, Salaki.
Matthew chapter 9, verse 10. And it came to pass, as Yahushua sat at meat in the house, behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples.
So many publicans and sinners came and sat down with Yahushua and the disciples, man. Like the Adawan was saying. These people, you know, the Christian church or the leadership at this time, they looked down upon these people, man.
Right.
They thought these people wasn't worthy to come sit in front of the King Christ.
That's
but
right.
Christ cuts them as he did always, man.
That's right.
You understand? Because Christ came for the whole nation of Israel, not just the rich. You
That's
understand? Not just the popular,
That's
not just who you think he should come for, but he
That's right.
came for the whole nation, man.
Damn right.
You understand that? Keep reading, Adawan.
Verse 11, and when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, why eateth your master with publicans and sinners?
You understand? The Pharisees like, why your master over there eating with the publicans and sinners? They look down on these people, man. You understand? They didn't love their nation.
That's
They
right.
didn't love their people.
That's
You
right.
understand? And in one point in time, you know, you would be cut off from the nation, you know, if you sinned.
Right.
You understand? You miss a Passover. You didn't get circumcised. You understand?
Right.
You would be cut off.
That's right.
But the hell, Christ exposed the Pharisees like, hell, you should be cut off too.
That's right.
And that's exactly what the Christian church is, man. You understand? Our black leadership of Pharisees, they hate their people, man. You understand? And they ask Christ that question. Keep reading.
Verse 12, but when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick.
So Christ cut them, man. He said, they that are whole need not a physician. What does that mean? If you're sick, you understand? If something's wrong with you, you need help.
That's right.
And the Christian church has done a horrible job. The nation of Israel is sick. We need help. We're not whole.
That's right.
But they teach every Sunday like we're okay.
That's right.
They take your money like you're okay.
That's right.
You understand? They don't do what Christ says, man.
That's right.
Christ came to heal,
That's
to
right.
come protect the nation of Israel.
That's right.
Not to just look to overlook them and use them, manipulate them, and take their money. You understand? That's what Christ did, man. And that's what black leadership is doing, man. They don't care about your feelings.
That's
They
right.
looking at you like, oh, you just some disgusting, filthy nigga, some
Right.
spick, some savage, man.
Right.
They don't love us, man.
That's right.
But Christ did, and that's why he sat down with the whole nation of Israel.
That's
He
right.
was a real brother to his people, man.
Damn right.
You understand? Is that it on that other one?
Verse 13, but go ye and learn what that meaneth. I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
Mm.
For I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
You heard what Christ said. If you're righteous, he didn't come to call you because you're not sick.
That's right.
You understand? He came for the sinners, man.
That's right.
He came for every brother and sister. He just didn't focus. Oh, you got.
Go ahead. No, sure.
He just wasn't focused on, who appeared to be righteous.
That's right.
Like the scriptures say, man, you got a vessel. It looks clean on the outside,
Right.
but on the inside it's filthy.
That's right.
That's the whole Christian church.
Damn right.
It looks good on the outside.
That's right.
What the hell are they doing inside of there?
That's right.
I tell you what they doing in there. Every damn thing Christ disapproved of, man.
Damn right. Damn
You
right.
understand? They doing everything inside that Christian church that's not lawful. You understand? It's not bringing our people closer to the Most High.
Damn right.
Sin on top of sin on top of sin.
That's right.
And then they use the Bible to make it look like they're just better than everyone else.
That's right.
You understand? I might have missed a point on that. But he said, but go ye and learn what that meaneth. Christ said, go learn what that means, man.
That's right.
Because y'all don't understand in the Christian church what that means.
That's
What being a real brother is.
That's
What
right.
being righteous is.
That's
You
right.
understand? Taking care of your people.
That's right.
Healing the sick, man.
That's right.
Feeding the poor, man.
That's right.
Y'all not doing that in the Christian church. We don't do that inside the Christian church, man. But Commanding Journey Yohana does, man.
That's right.
The Isupk under Commanding Journey Yohana, man. That's what we do. That's what our job is, man.
That's right.
You understand? We over the time, but yeah, that's it. Unless you got anything to say, I don't want.
Oh, Salakia. That's it. Salakia.
That's it. I know. You look like you had something, I don't want.
So like, if I could, I
Please.
was just going to say, when Christ said, so like, let me go back to it real quickly. Pray, brothers and sisters, hold on just for 1 second. When Christ said in Matthew 6 and 13, go ye and learn what that meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice. The Christian
Oh, yeah.
church is merciless. They are absolutely merciless. Trayvon Martin was murdered. The Christian church wasn't there. These black politicians and black leaders, so-called black leaders, are absolutely ruthless. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King Jr. had 13-year-old children marching, getting dogs sicked on them and hoses turned on them while getting murdered and beat and abused. Reese Taylor was raped by 7 white men, gang raped by 7 white men, and the church stood idly and did absolutely nothing. The church is merciless.
Right.
Christ said that he comes to have mercy, to give mercy to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
Like Reese Taylor.
Damn right.
Like Trayvon Martin. Like those 2.5 million black and Hispanic men locked up in a penitentiary that the church refuses to care about. That the church refuses to help. That the church refuses to give any assistance to. Christ came to have mercy on them. Christ came to have mercy on the likes of Trayvon Martin, the likes of Mike Brown, who the church says was just a thug, George Floyd, who the church says was just a thug, all of the black crackheads that suffered from the crack epidemic in the 80s. Don't you know that white governors and white politicians, those white governors in Ohio said what? They said that I refuse to let white children go to prison and get locked up from the opioid epidemic.
Right.
Where were your black pastors and black reverends and Al Sharpton when black people were going to prison like there was no tomorrow, like it was some goddamn plague when black men were going to prison for crack? Where were the black politicians? Where were they? Where were Mayor Quentin Lucas when black men in Kansas City, Missouri go to jail like this brother here? This brother that you just read about, he's here in prison in Missouri.
Right.
Where is the black Mayor Quentin Lucas to fight for this brother's rights while he's in prison for a crime he never committed?
Right.
They are merciless. The Christian church and black leaders are absolutely ruthless. But Christ isn't. Christ cares. Christ loves his people. He loves the blacks and Hispanics that the church hates.
That's right.
He loves the blacks and Hispanics that the Christian church refuses to give any help to, refuses to give any aid to. He hates, listen, the church hates those Haitian brothers and sisters that was under the bridge. They absolutely hated those Haitian brothers from the tribe of Levi and those mothers from the tribe of Levi who couldn't even feed their children and their babies and get proper feminine equipment and items. Guess who did love them? Commander General.
That's right.
Because Christ loved them.
Damn
and
right.
he sent his soldiers down there from Texas to Ciudad Acuña, Mexico, Captain Yatazak and the brothers and sisters from down there to Ciudad Acuña to give mercy to the blacks and Hispanics that the church refuses to give mercy to. Christ said he came to give mercy out, and that is what he means. The church did not come to give mercy.
Right.
The Pharisees and Sadducees didn't care to give these brothers mercy. They looking at you like, why are you even sitting with them? Why would you even go down there and risk your life to help the Haitians? Why would you go down there to risk your life to help the Mexicans? Why would you give a damn about the brothers and the sisters that are incarcerated? Why would you care about some black man that lives under a bridge and some sister who's been molested since she was a child in the church? Commander Juliana does care about
That's
them.
right.
Because the church doesn't. And if you don't take care of your people, who will? And that's what Christ said. Go learn what that means. Because what he's saying, Doc, is why wouldn't you care about them? They're black and Hispanic. Why wouldn't you care about them? They're Native Indian just like you. They're the children of slaves just like you.
That's right.
Why would I come to help you if you don't need help? You're so righteous and so high-minded and so arrogant and pompous and selfish. I'm not here to help you. I'm here to help the brothers and sisters in Ciudad Acuña, Mexico.
That's right.
I'm here to help the brothers in Rikers Island. I'm here to help the brothers in Leavenworth Federal Penitentiary. I'm here to help the sisters that are in Missouri State Penitentiary. I'm here to help the sisters in slavery whose wombs was cut open when they were unanestheticized. They didn't have any anesthetics. They were cut open and their babies ripped from their arms. Christ came to have mercy on them.
That's right.
Because the church refuses to. Christ comes to have mercy on the sisters on WIC and welfare and Section 8 housing. He comes to have mercy on the brothers that are in the goddamn penitentiaries that are homeless and that are on child support because the church refuses to. Christ did the opposite of what the church does. And that's have complete and ultimate brotherhood
right.
to poor black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, women, and children.
Damn right. Most High in Christ. So Salaki, this Tuesday night Brotherhood class, man, you know, brotherhood is very important in building a nation. You understand? So like I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, if it's your first time tuning in to class or you see this class, man, remember the importance of brotherhood. And it's not inside the Christian church. It's right here under Commanding General Yohana in the ISUPK, man. And with that, I'm going to pass the class to Precinct Officer Malak.
We at the ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of any penny, of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the Lord's 53rd annual Passover in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Right. Make sure you are there. Make sure that is the kingdom of heaven, brother. The kingdom of heaven is what you're going to witness and behold down in Cocoa Beach, Florida on April the 15th under Commanding General Yohana. You understand? Make sure you are there at the Lord's 53rd annual Passover. Make sure you're making your reservations, your plans right now. Right. You understand? You are too late if you try to wait in another month. If you try to wait another day. Start doing the preparations now. Your garments, your dress orders now. The children's preparation, the children party. Make sure you are doing that right now and not waiting one moment later. You understand? Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirts, pants, headband, and war scarf. And with that, Imadium, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahba Shem Yahweh Shabrakatha,
Yahba Shem Yahweh Shabrakatha,
Yajimata, dismissed.